Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1983's MASCARA. 1983's MASCARA, directed by Henry Packard and photographed by Roberta Findlay. Yes, I have looked at other films from Miss Findlay on this YouTube page, like films like Tenement and other adult films and the like, and other horror films as well. She has quite a career. And this is released by Vinegar Syndrome. We have some shots on the back here. Screenshots from the film. It says the expectation, the experience, the climax, MASCARA. Look at that font. Oh my gosh. And this stars Lisa DeLue in a lead role, and I love Lisa DeLue. You'll know her from films like Football Cheerleader and Frat House, both of which I've looked at on this YouTube page. You can check out there. We got Lee Carroll, who I think is the other lead, is the woman who plays the hooker in this film. If that's her. There's also Lisa Sintris, Tiffany Clark, Ron Jeremy, Bobby Astor, Robert Kerman, and more. If that's Lee Carroll, though, is that because yes, it is Lee Carroll. Sorry, she's from a movie called The Seductress as well. She is absolutely incredible. Her acting is absolutely incredible in this movie. It says in the back here, it's a complex psychological drama. And it most definitely is. Wow. You know, MASCARA is really, really interesting for so many reasons. You could see this film and you could see people saying, wow, take a look at MASCARA, because you really get a chance to see how much different X-rated films were back in the day as opposed to now. And the different levels of them, you know, as we look here in the early 80s, the acting, the characters, the storylines, even the sex, the sexual situations, the comedy, the drama, everything, the heartbreak, which this film all has. MASCARA, just from the opening title sequence of the film, you hear this strange, sparse music, which is seemingly synth-driven and very simple, dark, weird, uncomfortable. And you'll hear it throughout the film, but not a lot. As a matter of fact, there are sex scenes in the film where there's no music at all. You'll just hear the sounds of a hot tub and car horns out in the city streets. And there's a cold feel to the film as well, like it's cold outside. Something else I wanted to mention too is that if you have good low end on your speakers when you're watching MASCARA, you'll hear a lot of low end. You'll hear a lot of bass in here, kind of like a heartbeat, like a throbbing, no pun intended for the film. It's such an awesome 80 minutes here, folks. We have the story of a girl and her meeting, her kind of developing a friendship with a prostitute. We have an office woman developing a friendship with a prostitute. Now, what are the reasons for that? What are the implications of that? What are the repercussions of that? That's what you'll see in MASCARA. Lisa DeLue, this might be my favorite role for her. I've always loved Lisa DeLue, always. Ever since I first saw her, which I think the first time I saw her was in Football Cheerleader, for her first and only anal scene, I believe. And Lisa DeLue speaks such volumes in MASCARA non-verbally. And her acting is incredible in here. You get to see the emotions and the struggles, like the real life. There were many moments in this film where I said to myself, man, this seems really real. Lee Carroll, oh my gosh. I've never seen her before, by the way, and her acting was amazing. Everything seems so realistic in here. The camaraderie between Lee Carroll and Lisa DeLue is incredible. And there is there are the themes of sexual liberation, yet also sexual innocence and sexual confusion and sexual yearning. And so you have that sexual liberation and freedom, which you typically can see in an X-rated film, of course. But when you connect that to the seemingly contradicting state of kind of sexual vulnerability and yearning, yet emptiness, and kind of not being sure, not being certain. And so you would think that with sexual liberation, you would have total control over your situations, over your sexuality. But in Mascara, you have sexual liberation not totally equaling that, but instead equaling maybe more pain, because the person is yearning for that liberation, is yearning for that orgasm, is yearning for something else sexually, something else emotionally, something else relationally. And it brings the complexity of Mascara. We have great comedy in this film, but we also have elements that reminded me a bit of like Sofia Coppola's Lost in Translation in an X-rated world. We have some outrageous sexual situations in here, some taboo breaking type stuff. We got guys' asses being eaten, being fingered. We have 69ing with the guy on top, which is not a typical thing. We also have panties being shoved down another girl's throat, smelling panties, guys dressing in women's clothing to please their wives. We have guys wearing makeup in here. One guy in particular who looked like a nubile guy who was wearing like lipstick, I think, and staring at another guy while he was doing a scene. Two guys, one girl scene. It was really interesting the way it was being done. It was weird in the way it was being done. Just some really, really wild. The domination scene with the husband and wife was one of the wildest sex scenes in the film, to me at least, because the acting is so incredible. All the acting in this movie is so incredible. You believe the characters, you believe what they're saying, you believe their stories, you believe it all. And it's in the eyes of Lisa DeLue's character, in the city streets at night and during the day, and it's in the subway where you see the unspoken. You see what's not being said directly. And so you get then to interpret what is actually being told in Lisa DeLue's eyes. We have freeze frames in here that are pretty experimental. We have fades to black. We have kind of a screen slide. We have some very interesting experimental methods in the cinematography and in the editing for this movie. Definitely. And if you love pale skin and real, redheads, gingers, and just thicker, Lisa DeLue's thighs, her butt, her boobs. Oh my gosh. If you like big boobs, you're going to love Mascara, because it seems like all the women have big boobs for the most part. And there's this amazing sex scene near the end of the film, which is really kind of impacting Lisa DeLue's character near the climax of the movie. It's between this, I think they're a married couple. Really hot sex scene there, too, as well. I don't know who the girl was, but she was amazing. I saw some faces in here that I've never seen before in any of the Golden Age films, so it was interesting. You see faces that you're definitely aware of, and then faces that you're not as aware of. So it was a great mix. This is really, as I always say, something special, and it's unlike anything that I've seen before. And it says produced, photographed, and uncredited, co-directed by Roberta Findlay, and scored by Walter Sear. It's an unforgettable exploration into the sexual psyche, without a doubt. Without a doubt. This is an excellent, excellent movie, and it's hot as hell. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like MASCARA. Please feel free to check out my own personally made films at www.vimeo.com/poopydiarrhea. You can follow me there and see all my new movies that I release for free online. Thank you so much, and good night.